Cooper Flagg, born December 21, 2006, is an American professional basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks of the National Basketball Association, NBA. He began his high school career at Nokomis Regional High School in Newport, Maine, before transferring to Montverde Academy in Montverde, Florida, where he won multiple National High School Player of the Year honors as a senior. Ranked as the top recruit in the 2024 class, Flagg played college basketball for the Duke Blue Devils, earning both consensus first-team All-American and consensus National Player of the Year honors as a freshman. He was selected with the first overall pick by the Mavericks in the 2025 NBA Draft. Early life and high school career. Flagg was born in Newport, Maine, and initially attended Nokomis Regional High School. He became the first freshman to be named the Maine Gatorade Player of the Year after averaging 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 3.7 steals, and 3.7 blocks per game. Nokomis won the Class A state championship, with Flagg scoring 22 points and grabbing 16 rebounds in a 43-27 win against Falmouth High School in the state final. Flagg transferred to Montverde Academy in Montverde, Florida, at the end of his freshman year of high school. Prior to the beginning of his first year at the school, he played in the Nike Elite Youth Basketball League, EYBL, for the Florida Eagles, an amateur athletic union team affiliated with Montverde. Flagg was named the MVP of the 2023 Hoop Fall Classic after scoring 21 points with 5 steals, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in Montverde's 85-63 victory over La Lumiere Academy. He also was named a semi-finalist for the Naismith Prep Player of the Year award. Flagg averaged 9.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game in his first season at Montverde. After the season, he played for Maine United in the EYBL and averaged 25.4 points, 13 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 6.9 blocks in 7 games at the Peach Jam tournament. Flagg reclassified to the 2024 recruiting class after his sophomore year. Flagg was selected to play in the 2024 McDonald's All-American Boys Game. On March 27, 2024, he was named the Gatorade National Player of the Year. Flagg was also named Mr. Basketball USA and the Naismith Prep Player of the Year. He finished the season averaging 16.4 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 2.7 blocks per game during his final high school season while leading the Eagles to a perfect 34-0 record and the program's 8th national title. Recruiting Flagg was ranked the 3rd best prospect in the 2025 recruiting class following the conclusion of his freshman season. He re-ranked as the class's 2nd best recruit in August 2022 following his performance in the 2022 FIBA Under-17 Basketball World Cup. Flagg received his first NCAA Division I scholarship offer from Bryant while in the 8th grade. Flagg reclassified to the class of 2024 during the summer after his sophomore year. On October 30, 2023, Flagg verbally committed to play for Duke after also considering an offer from the University of Connecticut. He had initially planned to announce his commitment on October 27th, but pushed it back in the aftermath of the 2023 Lewiston shootings in his home state of Maine. Flagg signed a national letter of intent to play for the Blue Devils on November 8, 2023, during the early signing period. Flagg finished as the highest-rated recruit in the 2024 class. College career Cooper Flagg, second-half free throw versus Wake Forest. Flagg in March 2025. Flagg enrolled at Duke University in June 2024 in order to take part in the Blue Devils' summer practices. He made his college basketball debut during Duke's season opener against Maine on November 4, 2024, and scored 18 points with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals in a 96-62 win. On November 18th, Flagg earned Atlantic Coast Conference ACC Rookie of the Week honors. On December 31st, he scored 24 points, 6 assists, and 4 steals in an 88-65 win over Virginia Tech. On January 4, 2025, Flagg had a double-double of 24 points and 11 rebounds in an 89-62 win against SMU. Flagg delivered a record-breaking performance in Duke's victory against Notre Dame on January 11, 2025. He scored 42 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists, shooting 11 of 14 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, and 16 of 17 from the free throw line. This set new freshman scoring records for both Duke University and the ACC. On January 18th, Flagg scored 28 points and 5 rebounds in an 88-63 win over Boston College. On January 25, 2025, Flagg scored 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists in a 63-56 win over Wake Forest. On January 27th, Flagg scored 28 points and 7 rebounds in a 74-64 victory against NC State. On February 1st, Flagg tallied 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists in an 87-70 win against arch-rival North Carolina. On February 12th, Flagg scored 27 points and 5 rebounds in a 78-57 win against California. On February 17th, Flagg had a double-double of 17 points and 14 rebounds in an 80-62 win over Virginia. He became the first ACC player with 500-plus points, 100-plus assists, and 30 blocks in the regular season in the last 25 years. On March 3rd, Flagg scored 28 and tallied 8 rebounds and 7 assists in a 93-60 victory against Wake Forest. Flagg led the Blue Devils to the ACC regular season title as Duke finished 19-1 in conference play. On March 13, 2025, Duke would go on to defeat Georgia Tech 78-70 in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament, despite Flagg leaving the game due to a sprained ankle injury, which forced him to miss the rest of the tournament. On March 15th, Duke defeated Louisville 73-62 in the ACC tournament championship game. Flagg and Duke entered the NCAA tournament as the #1 seed in the East region and defeated both Mount St. Mary's and Baylor in the first and second rounds of the tournament. On March 27th, Flagg scored 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists in a 100-93 win over Arizona in the Sweet 16. On March 29th, Flagg added 16 points and 9 rebounds in an 85-65 victory against Alabama in the Elite Eight. On April 5th, Flagg scored 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks in a 70-67 loss against Houston in the Final Four. Following his freshman season, Flagg declared for the 2025 NBA Draft, foregoing his remaining college eligibility. He was named the ACC Player of the Year and ACC Rookie of the Year, joining Zion Williamson, Marvin Bagley III, and Jahlil Okafor as the only players in conference history to win both awards in the same season. Professional career, Flagg was selected with the first overall pick by the Dallas Mavericks in the 2025 NBA Draft. He was signed on July 2, 2025. In his NBA regular season debut on October 22, 2025, Flagg started as a point guard and a primary ball handler. He put up 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 steal in a 125-92 loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Because his surname is Flagg, Mavericks fans have started shouting it in the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, during the lyric, "That our flag was still there." On November 10th, Flagg tied LeBron James as the youngest player to score at least 25 points in an NBA game at age 18 years and 324 days, when he posted 26 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. On November 28th, Flagg became the youngest player to record 10 assists in an NBA game, surpassing James by 18 years and 343 days, versus 18 years and 355 days in a loss to James's Lakers. The next night, Flagg scored a career-high 35 points in a 114-110 win over the Los Angeles Clippers, becoming the youngest player to do so, surpassing James. He also joined LeBron James as the only players to score 30-plus points in a game before turning 19 years old. In his first 7 games, he started at point guard and averaged 13.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.9 assists, shooting 38%. After being moved to forward, he averaged 20 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.7 assists on 51% shooting over his next 15 games. On December 15th, Flagg put up 42 points in a 140-133 overtime loss to the Utah Jazz. He became the youngest player in NBA history to score at least 40 points in a game. At 18 years and 359 days, he was 94 days younger than previous record holder LeBron James, who scored 41 on March 27, 2004. On December 25th, Flagg recorded 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in a 126-116 loss to the Golden State Warriors, becoming only the third rookie to record at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in a Christmas Day game, after Oscar Robertson in 1960 and Pete Maravich in 1970. On January 29, 2026, in a loss to the Charlotte Hornets, Flagg earned himself a double-double by scoring a then-career-high 49 points, paired with 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and a single block, tallying the then record for the most points by a teenager in NBA history, surpassing Cliff Robinson, who had scored 45 in a 1980 game. It was the highest-scoring performance by a rookie since Trae Young in 2019. On February 3rd, Flagg put up 36 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in a 110-100 loss to the Boston Celtics. He also became the first teenager to put up 3 consecutive 30-point games in NBA history. On April 3rd, Flagg put up a career-high 51 points in a 138-127 loss to the Orlando Magic. He became the youngest player in NBA history to score 50-plus points, doing so at 19 years and 103 days old, and surpassing the previous record set by Brandon Jennings at 20 years and 52 days old. He also became the first teenager to score 50-plus points in a game in NBA history. National team career. Flagg played for the United States Under-17 basketball team at the 2022 FIBA Under-17 Basketball World Cup. He was named to the All-Tournament team after averaging 9.3 points, 10 rebounds, 2.9 blocked shots, and 2.4 steals per game as the United States won the gold medal. Flagg scored 10 points with 17 rebounds, 8 steals, and 4 blocked shots in a 79-67 win over Spain in the final. He was named the 2022 USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year for his performance in the Under-17 World Cup and is the youngest player to win the award. Flagg was named to the USA Select Team to practice with the United States men's national team in preparation for the 2024 Summer Olympics. Personal life. Flagg's mother, Kelly, played college basketball at the University of Maine, where she was a team captain as a senior. His father, Ralph, played NJCAA basketball at Eastern Maine Community College. Flagg has a fraternal twin brother, Ace, who was a teammate at Nokomis, transferred to Montverde, and has since verbally committed to play at men's basketball at the University of Maine starting in 2025-26. Flagg's older brother Hunter was also a Nokomis basketball player and was a senior when the former was a freshman. His family relocated from Newport to Florida after he and his twin brother transferred to Montverde Academy. Growing up in New England, Flagg was a fan of the Boston Celtics. Endorsements. Flagg signed a shoe deal with New Balance prior to the start of his freshman year at Duke. Flagg's decision to choose New Balance was influenced by the company's ties to his home state of Maine, with 2 of their factories being located near his hometown of Newport. He also became the first men's college basketball player to be sponsored by Gatorade.